Hello, and welcome to Mulligan Speaks. I'm Annette Mulligan, guiding you to live beyond your disability, own your health, and create clear dialogue between you and your doctors. Today, I want to talk with you about the ideas of confidence and competence. So it was less than a year ago that I started getting this burning desire of getting a guide dog. For those of you who don't know, I'm legally blind. And I had my friends and family saying to me, well, do you qualify for a guide dog? That would be an awesome thing for you to have. And I thought, well, maybe, maybe not. But suddenly I started to just think about it all the time. So I figured I need to find out about this. I don't know if I qualify. I don't know if I'm a good candidate or not. So I called Guide Dogs for the Blind and I spoke with this gentleman and I said, I want to know whether I qualify or if I'm a good candidate. Very first question he asked me, sure, so have you had O&M training? My reply, I don't know what O&M training is, so I'm going to go with no. I haven't had that before. O&M stands for Orientation and Mobility. And he said, before you can actually even enter into the program or be considered for it, you have to know how to orient yourself and be mobile by using a cane. I was like, okay, where do I go to get that? He said, I would try the Oregon Commission for the Blind. From here on out, they will be known as OCB. So I called them up, told them that I was interested in getting a dog one day. I knew I had to go through O&M training. What did I need to do to make that happen? They set me up with a counselor. She came over to my place. We went through a series of getting to know you information things. And then she said to me, what's your goal? What are your goals in working with OCB? And I said, well, I really just wanted to see if I could get a guide dog, and I have to have the O&M training. So definitely that training, learning how to use my cane more efficiently and effectively. And then I'd like to learn about other accessibility devices. I know they're out there, but I don't know how to use them or what they even are. And then she started saying, well, with that, would you like to know about this? And with that, would you like to learn about this? And to almost every one of her questions, I said, yes, give me that, because that sounds great. I had entered into a world of opportunities that were right there waiting for me. And I jumped in with both feet. I didn't just tippy toe in, I kind of like dove head first. And it's been great. So the cane trainer, I know there's a different name, but I like to call her my cane trainer, showed up and she said, take your cane and just walk down this way, turn around, come back, walk past me. She said, I just want to see what your gait is like, how you're using the cane, how you're holding it. I just need to observe that. So I walked down to where she told me to, turned around, walked back, came back to her. And she then said to me, okay, we need to teach you how to do it the right way now. I was pretty much self-taught when it came to using my cane. And so she began the instructions that I needed to have of how to hold my cane properly. What was the right hand position and arm position? What the tapping from side to side should look like, how it should coordinate with my steps, with my feet. When the terrain changed and I went from asphalt or concrete to dirt and grass or gravel, what I needed to do differently in holding it and using it properly. When going up and down the stairs, how to use it, how to use this cane to the maximum ability to be able to function more fully as a legally blind person. All of these things were wonderful and amazing. And as she would teach me in our first lesson, I would go out the next day for my walk and I would implement. The next lesson, she would teach me something different and I would implement that right away in my next lesson. One of the things that she taught me on that very first day that just really stuck with me and changed my mind about how to do things was the idea of this. As she was talking to me and as I was tapping or, figuring out where to put the cane and how to do it, she said to me, "Look up, don't look down." And I looked at her and I said, "What?" And she said, "You're looking down. You need to look up." And I thought, oh my gosh, she was right. Even when I'd been using my cane improperly before, I was always looking down because I thought that was how I needed to look in order to see where I was going. And she said, you have to learn how to trust your cane and your feet to see for you what's coming up. But you need to keep your head up and your shoulders back and look up. Don't look down. A couple of reasons for that, of course. Number one, if you've got your head down and you're always looking down here, it causes great neck pain and shoulder pain and back and hip and spine, and it can just mess you up and make you feel tense and uncomfortable. So that's not how you want to be. You don't want to be slumped over and looking down. You want to be looking up, shoulders back. Second reason, she said, when you're in that downward position, your head is down and you're tapping, you are in what's called a victim pose. She said, you are looking down, you're not looking around, you are looking down, you're not aware of what's happening. And there are those people out there, so unfortunately, who look for people like that. People who aren't paying attention, people who are looking down, looking like they have no confidence, looking like they could be victims, a prey for this particular bad person. She said, you don't want to do that. Hold your head high. Keep your shoulders back, looking around from side to side as you can while you're walking, because you're indicating that you're walking with confidence, with competence, and with assurance, and that you're paying attention to what's going on. So what did those aspects have to do with you and your health? Well, first of all, you need to know what you want. You need to have some goals in mind. When I called the guide dog for the blind, I wanted to find out more. When they told me I needed to do O&M training, they came and we talked about that, but then they shared and opened up that door of there are other things. I knew right away I wanted to learn those other things. So you need to have goals in mind. What is it that you want? Know what you want. Secondly, be prepared and be ready to ask for help. Be ready to seek out those resources. They are all around. And so often we feel like, oh, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to take up their time. People are out there wanting to be a resource to you, and that is, number one, their job, and two, that's what they're there for. Use the resources that are there. Ask for help from other agencies, organizations. There's all kinds of different ways that you can get the help or the resources that you need. Don't be afraid to ask for them. And when you do get them, when they're offered to you, don't do the fear. I don't know if I want to do that because it sounds scary. Of course it sounds scary. Anything new is scary for us. But be very open-minded and just say, yeah, let's try that. Let's see what happens when I do this. One of the offerings that they gave to me was cooking in the kitchen and being blind. And at first I thought, I don't really need that. I do my fair share of cooking just for myself, but I don't think I need. And they said, yeah, you need this. And they were right. It was a wonderful class taught by a wonderful woman, and she just had all kinds of amazing tips and resources that I never would have known about had I not taken that class. So when the offer comes to help you out or to provide a resource, be open to it, accept it, don't push it away. And last, when you begin to gain that competence and confidence, when you're being more aware of what is going on around you, you can feel better about yourself, about your health, about just who you are in the moment of where you are. So practicing what you're doing, practicing using the cane for me, practicing the cooking suggestions that were made. The more I use my insulin pump, and when I first got it, the more I had to do the different things with it, the more comfortable and the more competent and the more confident I felt about using it. So as you enter into perhaps a new phase of understanding your health or choosing to address your health issues, I encourage you, set some goals, know what they are, know what you want. Take a look at resources, ask for help. Don't be afraid to do that. And then watch as your level of competency and confidence rises and helps you just in an overall sense to feel better about yourself and how you're living. This is Annette Mulligan. Thank you so much for being with me. You can find me on my webpage, amulliganspeaks.com. I'd love to get a thumbs up, a like, a comment, a question. And on my webpage, you can shoot me an email. Again, just with a question or comment, that's fine. And you can check out all of my other resources or services that I provide. I'm a coach, a trainer, a speaker, an Arbonne consultant, a presenter. I do pretty much everything there is to do in helping people to understand how they can own their health and to move forward and live a more fulfilling life. All right, take care and be well.